Everybody, wanted to share with you I scored big at a yard sale. I got this mixed media pack of construction paper and design paper, along with several other things not collage related, for $5. And I really like these solid backgrounds. They will probably be making way into some of my collages. That's not solid, but that might be useful. Or I might cut them up, especially these flower designs, or maybe these designs if I feel I need something a little more oomph for some of my ephemera. Yard sales are a great way to get ephemera, and it's very cheap. It's easy to do. It may make somebody very happy as they're trying to clear out. You go later in the day and they're willing to give you things for very, very cheap. So I don't know if I'm necessarily going to use any of this in today's collage, but it'll be nearby in case I do. So I started cutting, and I, again, am not certain what I'm going to come up with this week. I am just looking for ephemera, kind of cleaning it up a little bit. I was thinking maybe some minimal collages, but I don't know for sure. Just early in the thinking stages right now, which means that I probably don't have a focal point yet. I have a lot of interesting ideas going on. I really love the lips that I've been cutting out, and that's telling me I may be going in that direction. I wanted to use her from last week. I was actually going through a magazine I went through last week. It was an Allure magazine, one of my newer finds, but it's actually an older magazine from 2016. So I went through that one again, even though I went through it last week. It felt new, which was awesome. So yeah, a lot of images of lips. So I'm not sure if that's the direction I'm going in. I just started cutting what I thought looked cool, and here we are. I also cut out an image of Marilyn Monroe. I don't normally like using celebrities in my work, but Marilyn is iconic, and she is legendary, so she doesn't feel like your typical, to me, atypical celebrity. So I may use her. And then I was lucky enough to go to these concerts nearby, and they had a wonderful program that had beautiful images, and I really am drawn to this. So I'm not sure if I'm going to work this into any. Well, here we go. It's the flute, and we have some lips. So this might be making way into one of the images. So a lot of contemporary stuff going on, which is never a bad thing. But I think I need a little more vintage. So I am going to go grab one of my old magazines. Looks like I have a little friend here that doesn't want to help me, but wants to get in my way. So it wasn't a vintage magazine, this last one. It is a 2016 Vogue. I like this image. This is a possible, but I'm going to leave it in the magazine for now because I'm not sure. I'll leave it folded open like this in case I start getting stuck. The vintage magazine I actually went through was my Faithful Life magazine from 1961, I believe. And then I found these album covers, and then, wow, look at this. One of the original collage art pieces when you think about it, the cover of the Beatles' Sgt. Pepper's album. I'm not going to use it, but maybe in another collage. But it's given me something to think about. So I'm just going to set those off to the side as well. And I think I have enough to start. And part of what I'm thinking is maybe doing a couple of minimal collages, a couple small ones, and see, what we come up with there. Or not, I don't know. I'm just going to start playing and building, and maybe my little friend here will clear my desk for me. Come on, guy. All those cat owners know that our cats want our attention when we're busy. So that's just the way it is. I really like this image also for possible focal point. So maybe I need to start sorting things in terms of focal point or secondary. This is kind of scary and goes with this one a little bit, doesn't it? I don't know. I do like having the black and white images. I like them a lot. See, these images that I cut out can certainly become focal points for smaller collages. She's great. I really like this one. And she could fit in just about anywhere, but I'm just not sure what to do with her yet. Of course, these vintage kids, those are fun, and here we have more lips. I don't know about lips in these collections today. I don't know why. Let's see. Let's start thinking. Let's start playing. Whenever I'm cutting delicate areas like this, I want to make life easy for myself. So I'm making the cuts, and in between the fingers on this flute, I want to get all this area out. So what I do is I'll make the cut, and I'll pull the cut up high. It's almost like crisscrossing, because it's really hard to stay in the lines when I'm making these delicate little cuts. And it's actually, sometimes it's a challenge to do something that is rounded when you're making these cuts. So sometimes they're just a series of straight cuts for me, just to free the image. And if I need to come back with my scissors to round things off, I do. So it's not so much that I'm pulling the X-Acto along the line of the image, like these finger knuckles. I stop here, and then a straight line up here, and it's free. Now there may be some of the background remaining. Just cut straight. I'm not going to try to draw that finger with my X-Acto knife to free the image. I just make a series of smaller cuts just to free the image. I could always come back and clean it up. So I think I almost have these fingers free. Just being really exacting with this. And then there's the flute. I'll do the same thing, although this will be a lot easier. This is more of a straight line. So just pulling a straight line, pulling my X-Acto along the image picture. And it should free it. So I have the mouth of the player here. I'm just going to cut there only because I'm not sure how I'm going to present this image in the collage. And yes, see, it's really hard to see. It's a little messy. If I put it with a lighter background, you can see that my cut wasn't super clean, but it's out, and I can come in with my scissors. And these are kind of bulky scissors to use for these delicate cuts. and that's fine because that's what I have available. I'll just be careful. I have heard of collage artists who, again, use surgical tools, surgical scissors, kind of like a ceramicist will use dental tools to make their pieces. Well, collage artists use surgical tools. I have not been gifted anything like that yet from myself or from anybody else, but I would be interested in that. I would totally try that out if I had a pair of surgical scissors. So I'm just going to clean these fingers up. I worked on this little area, got that out. I'm not sure I'm even going to keep this arm. It may just be the hands free of the arms to make the collage a little more surreal, absurd. Here we go, almost done. Straight cut. Okay, so I have this area too, which I'm definitely going to be removing, and I'll do that in time lapse. It looks like I created a little bit of a triptych, just working with a lot of the musical imagery. I really wanted to include this, but I don't think it's going to work out. I ended up with really 3 smaller collages, my minimals that I normally do, and I think I'm okay with that for this week. So here is the first one. Okay, yeah, I'm liking the way this is turning out. Just lining up this beautiful background, black and white background with the lips, and those lips are tilted in just the perfect way that the flute matches it, so I am really happy with the way this looks. So I will probably be committing this to some glue in just a little bit. What I can do in the meantime is commit the flute and the lips together with some tape. Kind of want these hands to overlap the lips a bit. Okay, that looks good. So I got that, and now I'm going to grab some tape and make sure that they stay together. What I like about this background came from a vintage RCA magazine. I didn't even know something like that existed. And I'm playing with it. It's really some intricate doodle-like design, but it's far more sophisticated than being described as a simple doodle. Just is. I mean, you almost can see a little yin and yang going on. And it also has, it feels to me like it has a quality of musical notes, almost like a cacophony, because it's not musical notes, but it's something like that. It reminds me of that, so I like it. And I'd like to get this wrist right here so it looks like an arm. And yeah, I'm happy with this one. This looks really, really good, but I have to glue it down. So I will return to that in a little bit. I'm going to set it off to the side. This one I'm not so sure about. I like that she's standing in the middle of the piano. And the reason also I wanted to make everything musical, because I already have a name for this triptych, and that is Played, P-L-A-Y-E-D, which has a double meaning, of course. You know, you feel you've been played in a negative way, or music is played. So I have to think of something if I want to continue with that. she's cool. I was able to cut the purse off, and I was really pleased with that because I didn't really want it. But the thing is, well, actually, this looks kind of cool. Actually, yeah, that works too for me. That's an interesting background. Got some text going on. I think I'm going to commit it. They're just going to be little collages this week. Nothing wrong with that. I haven't done a minimal for a while, actually. I'm actually also thinking of going bigger, making a large-scale collage. Got an idea this afternoon, and I might proceed. I just have to do some more thinking about it. Not too much thinking. Originally, I wanted to use the background, this sequoia-looking background. I thought that looked kind of cool. I guess I still could. But you know what? The other collage with the lips and the flute are working very well by themselves. And minimals, my minimals are usually just 3 to 5 pieces of ephemera. So this looks good. I'm going to leave it alone. And the last one, again, doesn't have too much to do with music. It has nothing to do with music. I grabbed a vintage mattress ad. And this hot dog came from a more contemporary magazine, from one of the 2016 magazines. And I just have her resting on the hot dog. Why not? I think I'll just commit her as well. It doesn't really play into the theme of being played, or maybe it does. I don't know. I'm just going to call it that for now. I might change my mind. So there she is. Well, a little off. I really kind of want her to be on the side of the bread. I'm going to gently, see, this is tricky. I'm using packing tape, and she is glued on with packing tape, so I don't want to rip her. I have not ripped anything yet on the channel. You know what, it probably doesn't matter. Okay, now that, I'm going to leave it alone. I really don't want to rip it. And then I wanted to use these lips as a background. Commit this as well. There we go. I want to cut here the lips. Let me get my straight edge. I can use my scissors for this, but I'd like to use my straight edge just to keep things nice and neat. Be as precise as possible. I'm just going to line it up here. And that way it's just even on both sides. Okay. That is good. Doesn't look too bad. Doesn't have anything to do with played because I didn't use music, anything musical with this, but it's just fun. It's just absurd. I wanted to use these lips, although you got some hair strands, and I don't know, it bugged me. I didn't really want to do that. Yeah, this was my last musical piece from that one image, and I got poor Marilyn here and thought about that. I don't know. It's just, and an ice cream scoop. I don't know. I don't see any opportunity right now to use that violin head. Maybe another time. So 3 little collages here pertaining to music and food, I guess. Yeah, I'm gonna call it a video. I'll just leave it like that. I'm good with it. I hope you are too, and I hope you learned something. Let me know in the comments if you've learned something. I would love to hear from you guys. And I will start thinking about what we're going to come up with next week. Have a good one.